Hello and welcome to SVC Sports Weekly, your Southern Vermont College Athletics audio program hosted by Mike Nosek and head baseball coach Dave Gage. And yeah, we're ready to jump around because basketball seasons are underway this weekend and we'll be seeing some tip-off tournaments. We'll get to that in a bit. But first, we're going to start off with men's cross country. Dave, the cross country teams were at the NCAA Regionals this weekend down at Westfield State University in Westfield, Massachusetts. And again, great results. Common theme with these two programs.
Yeah, like you said, good results. Same people up top like we've seen all year, but consistency and being able to compete in the NCAAs is something that a lot of athletes aren't able to do, so congrats to them.
Yeah, Josh Caesar finishing first for the Mountaineers with a time of 28 minutes and 3 seconds. Even though he was battling injury and illness over the last couple weeks since the NECC Championships. One runner to note that we haven't mentioned all season is Cameron Curtis, a freshman who did pretty well this weekend, and throughout the course of the season he took 9 minutes off of his time, which is really, really impressive. So congratulations to Cameron, great work there, and we hope that you keep it up for next year. Again, on the women's side, Alice Lala and Haley Omasta both cracking the all-time SVC 6K times. The NCAA Regional, for whatever reason, is a 6K race instead of a 5K race. And both of those freshmen did very well to put them on those lists.
Yeah, you run 5Ks all year, then run a 6K at the NCAAs. I guess the NCAAs is a little bit tougher, but it didn't seem like it bothered them too much, and they put up good times and made the all-time list, so good job.
And head coach Maria Stuber mentioned that it was obviously the biggest event, which both teams have run this season with over 350 runners on each side. There's a picture on SVCathletics.com under the men's story, and it's just a horde of runners at the starting line, and it could be a little overwhelming, so it's great to see the freshmen come out and compete that well.
Yeah, I saw that picture after you put the story up, and I was like, wow, that's a lot of people.
Absolutely. So congratulations again to all those runners. Great season. We hope you keep it up, keep up the hard work throughout the off seasons, and see you back in the fall on the courses. Women's volleyball at the NCAA New York Regional on Friday evening. They were ranked, or they're rather the 7th seed against ranked 31st in the nation, Middlebury College, who was the number 2 seed. And the score was 3-1. The women played very well, very competitive against a great Middlebury team. Unfortunately, ended up on the losing end.
Yeah, but you know what? This team showed how much heart it was made of. And, when you have that many seniors on the team, 7 seniors, they just battled the entire game. They went down 7-1 in the first set. And I know we all sort of looked at each other, all of us that were sitting together, and it was like, oh boy. But, then we came back and we tied it. We even took a lead in the first set. And, it was just, the game was very, very competitive, and we proved that we can play with a quality opponent in Middlebury.
Yeah, I think Josh Stokes mentioned it, and Middlebury was a very tall team, so a lot of blocking, getting our hitters frustrated a little bit and kind of disrupting the flow there. The Mountaineers were able to take the third set, which was actually the first set for an NECC team in the NCAA level, so kind of a minor victory there. Take it for what you will, but it's good to see that the conference is starting to get some recognition in that respect. And I would say that last year, when they went to the NCAAs, from what I hear, they were kind of nervous, for lack of a better term. Do you think that helped them this year?
I think the experience helped, but, I think just, like I said, 7 seniors, they know this is, it's win or you're done. And they were much more prepared, I think, from a coaching standpoint. I think even Josh Stokes, he even said, they were much more prepared. And they knew what they were getting into. It wasn't just an overwhelming feeling, whereas, they were able to take advantage of being in the tournament last year. And it definitely did help them. I think going forward it's going to help them again, maybe next year if they make it to that same stage. So, obviously the NCAA experience you can't replicate. Just being there as a fan you can't replicate. Just the atmosphere and the way you're taken care of. So it definitely helps. And the more and more you're there, the better it is. And just talking about that, Middlebury's been there the last 4 years. Clarkson's been there the last 4 years. They're the teams that won. Clarkson won it. So it does. The experience definitely helps.
Two-time NECC Player of the Year, Jessica Alvarez, had a great match. She led all players, having 21 kills in that match. Also had 13 digs on the defensive end. So, she finished her season strong. and really put it all out there on the line for what it's worth. Congratulations again to Jessica and the rest of the Mountaineers for making it back to the NCAAs and winning a second straight conference championship. And again, we also have to congratulate Danielle Heelis for making the American Volleyball Coaches Association All-Region team for New England. And the All-American teams get announced tomorrow, which is Tuesday, and we'll see if she should land on one of the 3 teams, if not an honorable mention. So, again, congratulations to Danielle, an outstanding season on her, and especially in conference play.
Yeah, she led the country in hitting percentage. There's no reason why she isn't up there. And like you said, congrats to her. She definitely is well deserving of it. And this whole team is a very good team. And to the 7 seniors that graduate, congrats to them on helping this program to where it is right now.
Absolutely. Now we're going to go on to some winter sport previews. We'll start with men's basketball, kicking off the season with the Williams College tournament down at Williams College in Williamstown, Massachusetts on Friday evening. This is a bit of a rivalry, 2 close schools. We go down there every year, play them well. Unfortunately, never come out with the positive result. Do you think they might be able to get it this year?
Well, you never know. It's a very tough team. It's a team that's always nationally ranked year in and year out. And in the past, it's been a problem of depth. But I think this team has had a very, very good preseason, our men's basketball team. And they're going to be ready. I can tell you that this team is definitely going to be ready for Williams, and we'll see what happens this Friday.
Yeah, the team is returning all NECC first team member and senior captain Tayshawn Johnson. We were talking to him a little bit yesterday, and he's really excited to get going and go down there and see what the team can really do. They've had a couple scrimmages, and that kind of tells you a little bit of something, but once it comes time for the game, which really goes on to your overall record, that's when you see whether or not it's all clicking.
Yeah, and like you said, there's a lot of talent on this team. Tayshawn and a lot of freshmen that are pretty good. Jermaine comes back, Jermaine Campbell, and so I'm excited to see them play on Friday, and like you said, Tayshawn's real excited to get on the court with the team and get in that game atmosphere because, again, scrimmages are scrimmages, but let's get out there and play the real games.
It's go time. Time to, as House of Pain says, jump around. That match is at 8 o'clock down at Williams College in Williamstown, Massachusetts. The earlier match features Coast Guard and Salem State. So the winners will play each other on Saturday afternoon, and the other teams will play in the consolation game. We'll move over to the women's side to conclude things here on SVC Sports Weekly on this Monday afternoon. They also kick off their 2012-13 season with the Curry tip-off tournament on Friday, playing Curry College for a 7:30 game time. And, Curry's no slouch. They're pretty competitive in a lot of their sports. And that's going to be another go-time decision to see whether or not they're ready for the season.
Yeah, what's fun about this team is they are so young. So many freshmen and one sophomore, and the rest of the team is freshmen. So this team is going to be very exciting to watch. And I've had a few conversations with head coach Mike Quinn, and he's just said it's something that they're going to make mistakes because they're young, and they're going to play very well because they're young. They don't know who's good and who's bad, but at the same time, they're freshmen at the college level. When they're going to have multiple times there's 5 freshmen on the floor, and they're going to make those freshman mistakes. But I think, again, this weekend is going to be pretty good for them to play Curry, who's a good team. And, and then before you know it, conference games will be here on December 4th when they're playing Wheelock, and that's, as you said, go time.
Yeah, the Curry tip-off tournament this Friday, Saturday, and then they're at New England College on November 27th. And then, as you mentioned, December 4th, right into the conference schedule. And the team was picked to finish 8th in the conference. And whether or not that's truly indicative of how well they're going to play, I think they have the potential to really surprise a lot of people and say, well, yeah, we're young, but age is just a number.
Right, exactly, and it's all about talent and how well you jive, and it doesn't matter. I mean, look at Kentucky last year. And I'm not saying that we have all Americans on our team, but freshman is at this level, at the college level. Freshman is just an age; it's just a number. It really doesn't matter, And by the time you get into that January when conference games really pick up, you can't be freshmen anymore. You can't be sophomores anymore. You you got to be there. And I think this team has a very competitive non-conference schedule that they will be prepared for.
Yeah, you mentioned conversations with Mike Quinn, head coach on the women's side. And one word he mentioned to me that really kind of sunk in was chemistry. And I see the women out there since September, when they were first here and didn't even know each other. They were out there playing with each other and against each other and just starting to gel, starting to form friendships on and off the court, And that's good to see. That's a positive start, and that can lead to a great season. So, again, that's the first step. We'll see what they do this Friday and throughout the rest of the season, and hopefully start to get things clicking where if they can get these members going in the positive direction and come back for the next couple of years, in 3 or 4 years, this might be a really, really good team to be reckoned with. And, just good things to see coming out of both the men's and women's side for the winter sports.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what, this winter brings, and to hopefully keep up the success that we had this fall with teams making the playoffs. And I think these two teams are more than capable of doing it. But like you said, they just got to get together and jive, and I think they're there, but this weekend will definitely tell.
So again, congratulations to all the fall athletes for, all the accomplishments they had, and, some heartbreaks there. But again, congratulations, and good luck to all the winter athletes. We hope that you do well. And we hope that you all join us next week here on SVC Sports Weekly, your quick audio program for everything Mountaineer Athletics. Go SVC.